If you've already booked a flight on Southwest Airlines, but now have had a change of plans and need to figure out how to either change or cancel your flight, this video is going to show you the process of how to do that, whether that's on Southwest Airlines website or on their app. Let's get it.
Dream vacations start here.
So I'm going to start by showing you how to change your flight on Southwest Airlines website first, and then I'll go back and show you how to do it on the app. And then afterwards, I'll show you how to cancel your flight. So let's go ahead and jump on to southwest.com. And here on Southwest homepage, you'll find the option to change or cancel your flight. So once we click on the Change Cancel tab, it's going to ask us to enter our confirmation number and name. So I'll go ahead and enter that in. Then I want to make sure the button to change flight is selected. Then I'm going to hit search. And now it's going to give us a 5-step process to change our flight. So if we scroll down here, it's going to give us the option to select which flight we want to change, whether it's the first flight or second flight. So I actually want to change my first flight to go into Chicago. So I'm going to click on that one. It says selected, that's good. I want to keep the returning flight the same, no changes there. So if I scroll down, so now it's going to ask me what I want to change. Do I want to change the date or the time or both? So I want to keep the date the same. All I want to do is make it a later flight. So I can choose either before noon, afternoon, or an evening flight. I just want to see all the options, so I'm just going to keep it at all day. And then I'll hit Explore Options. So before we move on, there are a couple rules that you need to know about changing your flight. You can change your flight up to 10 minutes before your scheduled flight. Now this is your scheduled flight, so if your flight gets delayed, you need to change your flight 10 minutes before the scheduled flight, not the new delayed time. So don't make that mistake. Also, it doesn't matter if you've already checked in for your flight and have received your boarding pass and position number, you can still change your flight up to 10 minutes before the scheduled departure. Now, Southwest does not charge any fees to change your flight, but you will have to pay the difference in fare if the new flight costs more than your original flight. If the flight costs less, then the difference will get refunded back to you, or you can choose to have it as a future flight credit, which is usually good for 1 year. So back on the website, we're going to see our options. So the first thing I want to do is look at my original trip to make sure that I'm not rebooking the same flight. So the flight I do want to change is the Columbus to Chicago flight, leaving at 10:50. I want to make it a later flight. So let's go ahead and look at our options. You can see it's still on Wednesday, and here are all of my options. So this is the flight I'm booked on, but I want a later flight. So what is the next nonstop? The next nonstop leaves at 3:20. That looks good to me. And if I look over here, I can see there's a bunch of plus signs and a minus sign. What does that even mean? As I said before, Southwest does not charge fees, but you do have to pay the difference for the new fare. So for example, if I wanted to upgrade to the Business Select category, which is what this is, and just so you know, if you wanted to see what the difference in benefits for each type of fare, you can just click on one of these categories and it'll bring up the fare benefits for each category. I'm not going to go through all these, but you're welcome to pause the video and take a look at these, or just go on Southwest website and you can find the screen as well. So what I'm booked on is the anytime fare. So if I scroll down to the flight I wanted to book on, which is the 3:20 flight, if I wanted to upgrade to the Business Select category, it would cost me an additional $66 to make that change. Now if I wanted to keep the same category, which is the anytime category, it's going to cost me an additional $26. Or if I want to downgrade to the Want to Get Away category, I'd get a refund of $24, or I can choose to have it as a flight credit for a future flight. So what I'm going to do is keep the anytime category. I'm okay paying the extra $26, so I'll select that, and it's going to it's going to eliminate all the other flights and just bring up this one. That is the flight I want, $26, I'm okay paying. I'll now click the Review Changes button. Also, just to mention, if you see a 0 as one of the prices, that just means there's no change in price for changing the flight. Now we're on to step 3. So review changes, got the right date and the flight time that I want. And now it's going to tell me the price it's going to charge me to make that change. This is okay with me, $25.01 to make that change. I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and click on the Review Passenger and Pricing button. And now we're on step 4, which is Review Passenger and Pricing Details. That looks good. And we can scroll down. We can update our contact information if we need to. And then we'll enter our credit card and billing information. So I enter my credit card and then my billing address. and then where I want to send a receipt to. And after I've entered my credit card information and billing information, and if I want to share my updated plans with anyone, I can enter their email address in these boxes here. So I'll review the final amount, which is $25.01 to make the change. I'm good. I'll confirm the changes. So last step is the confirmation. So everything is complete. It updates my new flight information here and the amount I paid for that change. And that's it. Now let's go look at how to do it on the Southwest Airlines app. And here we are on the Southwest Airlines app, and as you can see, I'm already logged in. And at the top here, you can see my trip labeled Chicago. So what I'm going to do here is just click on Chicago, and it's going to pull up my trip. And then you can see under the yellow banner here that says Add Early Bird Check-in, you'll see two buttons called Change and Cancel. So what we're going to do is just hit Change. So now it'll bring up both my flights, the departure and the return flight. And what I want to do is just change the return flight. Once I tap on it, it's going to put a check mark there to verify that's the flight I want to change. And then I'll hit Continue. So now it's going to ask me if I want to change the destination or the date. I don't want to do either of those. All I want to do is change the flight time to an earlier flight time. I'm going to keep everything the same, and it's going to hit Find Flights. Now it's going to pull up all my options. So at the top here, it's going to list my current reservation. So this is what I currently have booked. It's the nonstop leaving at 6:55. So I want to change it to an earlier flight time. So I'm just going to scroll down and choose one that I like. So as I scroll down, I see a flight that I do want. It's the nonstop leaving at 2:05. That's the next earlier nonstop, which is what I want. And you can see the price difference. It says -40, but that is going to be the want to get away fare. So if I click on it, it breaks it down by price on each fare type. I originally booked my flight on the anytime fare type, and I want to keep it that way. So as you can see, it is $11 more. And that's okay with me. If I wanted to downgrade, I can downgrade to the want to get away fare, and that would save me $40. That would get credited back to my credit card. And if I wanted to upgrade, it would cost me $51 more. So I just want to keep it on the anytime fare. So I'll just select that fare type. Now it's going to pull up the change for me. It's going to show the new returning flight information. It's going to be highlighted in green. So I was leaving at 6:55, and now it's confirming that I want to leave at 2:05 p.m. and that it's going to cost me $10.99 more to do so. And I'm okay to pay that extra amount. So if I'm good with that, I'll just hit Continue. So once I have reviewed the changes, I'll just enter my credit card information to pay the difference in airfare. And then at the bottom, we'll just hit the yellow button that says Make These Changes. And it'll confirm that your trip is now booked for the new flight time. And what I'll do is, once it's booked, I will look through and make sure everything was processed correctly and there's no errors. And everything looks good to me. And that'll do it. And that is how you complete a flight change on Southwest Airlines app. Now let's take a look at how to cancel a Southwest Airlines flight. Let's go ahead and take a look at that on the Southwest Airlines website first. We'll just scroll down, look down just a little bit and look at the blue strip of options here. And we'll go all the way to the far right to Change Cancel. We'll click that button, and then we'll enter our confirmation number and name. And then we'll click the button to cancel flight. And then we'll click search. Now it'll pull up my reservation. It'll ask me if I want to cancel one or both flights. I will click the flight coming back. I'll just hit Continue with Review. And it's going to give you a warning. The following portion of your trip will be canceled. So depending on what kind of fare type you booked, if you booked a want to get away fare, you will only have the option to get a travel credit that you can use for up to 1 year. Now, if you book the anytime fare or the business select fare, you have the additional option to get a refund on that portion of the trip. So you would just click that button if you wanted to get a refund, or you can click this button if you wanted to hold it for a future travel credit, good for up to 1 year. I'm going to click the refund, have that refunded back to my credit card that I used to book. And then I would just go down here and click the yellow button to cancel flight. Now let's look at how to cancel that on the app. So once you're logged into the app, you'll just choose the trip that you want to cancel, which for me is the Chicago trip. So I'll just tap on Chicago. And just remember that you do have up until 10 minutes before the scheduled departure time to cancel a trip. So even if you checked in for your flight, you can still cancel up to 10 minutes before the scheduled departure, as well as make any changes that you need to make. If you look right below the yellow banner that says Add Early Bird Check-in, you'll see a change and a cancel button. You'll just tap on Cancel. It will then ask you which flight you want to cancel. You can select one or both flights. For this example, I'm going to choose a return flight to cancel. It'll highlight it with a check mark, verifying that's the flight you want to cancel. And then I'll tap the yellow Continue button. It'll ask me to review the cancellation. And again, depending on which fare type you booked, if you booked the Wanna Get Away fare, you would only be eligible for a travel credit that is good up to 1 year. If you booked in any time or a business select, you'd be eligible for a refund back to your credit card, or you can choose a travel credit good up to 1 year. So for me, I'm choosing the refund back to my credit card. So as you can see, my credit would be $169.98 for that portion of the flight. And then I would just tap on the yellow Cancel Flight tab to complete the cancellation. And that's it. Let me know if you found this video helpful by liking the video and consider subscribing to see more travel related videos just like this one. Let me know if you have any questions by posting those in the comment section of this video. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I hope to see you in a future video.